Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Autumn Summers and I am the owner of A Balanced Canine. So I am a canine behaviorist, dog trainer, and canine and feline nutrition counselor. And I have been in the industry for 8 years. If you want to see to my full intro, you can go back to our first video where I have done that. But what we're going to be discussing today is how nutrition affects behavior, because it plays a very vital role that often gets overlooked. So, dogs are considered carnivorous omnivores. So yes, they can eat some plant material, but they are carnivorous selective. The majority of their diet should be made up of meat. And on top of that, they do not produce anywhere near the amount of enzymes that we produce to break down carbohydrates. Dogs were intended to eat 50% protein and 50% fat, and they derive all of their energy from that, unlike us who use carbohydrates. And I'm not, negotiating the keto diet in humans or whatever, I don't care. We're just talking about dogs. Unfortunately, many decades ago, someone came out with a dry dog biscuit that was pretty much entirely made up of starch, but the convenience of it made everybody go wild, and then the commercial pet food industry blew up as we know it. The pet food industry is estimated to be over a $90 billion industry worldwide, with the US having a hand of over $60 billion in that. So they do play a huge hand in that market. And I want to reiterate that it is the pet food industry. The pet food industry is a business. And a business wants money. So what they're going to want to do is to put out a lot of food to sell as much as possible at a low cost. And unfortunately, our pets suffer. So our pets that were eating biologically appropriate diets of meat and scraps and things like that, or fresh meat, are now suddenly eating these highly processed, highly rendered diets that cause inflammation and are full of unbiologically appropriate ingredients. So what does biologically appropriate ingredients look like for a dog? That is something that they would have naturally eaten or their body was designed to break down. Unfortunately, now that the pet food industry is such a booming business, we are feeding them in ways that they were not intended to eat. In fact, we're feeding these living, breathing beings these dry diets, dry pellets, and expecting them to thrive on this. And what we're seeing is a huge increase in diseases in our pets. We are seeing a huge increase in diabetes, cancers, heart diseases, and we have to take a look at the diet there. And as a trainer and a behaviorist, I can tell you that we're seeing a huge increase in behavioral issues as well. Now, that also does come down to the ways that we treat our pets now and the lack of breed-specific enrichment or stimulation that they are getting, but diet does play a part of this. And the reason why is that the things that you eat will affect their behavior. So one way that this is affecting their behavior is that dogs have very naturally acidic stomachs. And the reason for that is because since the beginning of time, they have been going out there and eating whatever they can find outside. And at some point, if you let your dog outside, they will bring you back something dead. So they needed these acidic stomachs to break down any potential pathogens or bacteria that may be on the food that they're consuming. So while you and I can contract foodborne illnesses and things like salmonella, the average dog generally will not contract it, and that is because of their acidic pH. They are built to break down these things. Now, there are rare cases of dogs contracting these things, and the reason why is we are now diluting their stomach acids. So, starchy foods and carbs do dilute that naturally acidic stomach. And when we dilute the naturally acidic stomach, it makes the digestive system work in overdrive. It's throwing the gut microbiome off balance and really disrupting a lot of things. So the gut microbiome, let's take a look at that for just a split second. I find the microbiome to be so fascinating. It has a hand in so many bodily functions. And we know now that one of its primary functions is regulating and producing certain hormones. And if your hormones are out of whack, your behavior is going to be as well. While dogs are not small humans, small furry humans, an example I like to give you all though is that if you have kids, nieces, nephews, grandchildren, how do they act when they get a lot of sugar? I have a 6-year-old, and let me tell you that if she gets a lot of sugar, she is bouncing off of the walls, and then she has the worst attitude you've ever seen until she goes to bed at night. And the same thing happens to our dogs that are not intended to be eating all of these starchy ingredients. They're turning them directly into sugar in their system, and it is affecting their behavior quite a bit. We see a lot of hyperactivity, and when I do training with dogs, I always offer my clients food alternatives and give them advice on that as well. And if I do board and trains, what I do during my board and trains is we actually do a board and train plus diet reset. So we're doing all of the training, but we are also working on the nutrition of the dog and improving that. Because if we haven't improved that and they're experiencing behaviors due to poor nutrition or an out of balance gut, we are building a house basically with no foundation. So we need to build that foundation first and then start working on all of those behaviors and things. And this is just a couple of ways that nutrition can affect your pet's behavior. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, share, hit that little bell so you get a notification whenever we upload a new video. And also feel free to drop a comment below and say hi, or also let me know what other content you would like to see more of. And make sure you head on over to our Instagram. It is at a.balance.canine, and say hi to us over there. We put out a ton of exclusive content on Instagram as well. All right, I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys more, and we will see you soon.